Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at a Hornby steam locomotive, as you can see, but this is slightly different from the ones I normally look at. I normally look at ones from either British Rail or one of the big four companies, but this one is an industrial engine, and to be specific, this is a W4 class Peckett locomotive. This one is in Williams and Robinson livery. It's number 882 and it's called Niklaus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll just bring the box up closer. So as you can see, there's a name, Niklaus maybe. I'm not too sure if it focuses. Come on. Oh, well, it doesn't seem to want to focus, but yeah, oh, there we go. Yep, so it's not Williams, it's Williams. I don't know why. Well, that's a typing error from Hornby, but oh well. Anyway, if we turn to the side, the product code is R3640, and it's Williams, or maybe it could be Williams. I'm not. I really don't know. Or maybe it is Williams, but Hornby just did a typing error. But anyway, product code R3640, Peckett W4, number 882. And just to clarify, 882 is basically the number which Peckett allocated, so that's basically the works number. It wasn't the company Williams and Robinson that allocated the number. All these numbers were allocated by Peckett. And if we turn to the back, you can see there's quite a bit of information on the Peckett, the W4. This particular one was the it's an 040 version, as you can see. So I mean, it seems to say Williams and Robinson, so maybe it is. Maybe it is Williams. Maybe, you know, Hornby didn't do a typing error. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, this particular one was built in 1906, I believe, but unfortunately it's not preserved. But anyway, so these were built between, I think there are about 140 of these built, of the W4 Peckett. They were built between 1885 and 1906, and they're all built for industries. So, you know, obviously these were industrial locomotives, so, you know, whichever company needed them, they purchased it. They were great for shunting, which is their primary purpose, and a few of these have been preserved, though of course quite a few of them been scrapped as well. There isn't an exact list as to how many Peckett W4 Pecketts were preserved, but my assumption is that there are quite a few still preserved, and you can find online there are still quite a fair few preserved. But yeah, but anyway, this particular model from Hornby was released, well, not this particular one, but the Peckett from Hornby was first released in 2015 or 16, and it was released to great acclaim. A lot of people have praised it for its detail and performance, and it took me about 7 years to get one, but I finally have one to review. And spoiler alert, I love it. But anyway, so the locomotive is not in the box. The loco, just put the box on the side, the loco is right here. Wow. Wow. Okay, the first thing I will mention, considering the size of the engine, it's quite heavy. And that's because the boiler is made of die cast. The boiler and the running plate is all die cast. The cab seems to be plastic. But it's not the boiler, that's the tank. But you get what I mean. All of this, the saddle tank, is made of die cast, which is really, really good. Does give it quite a bit of traction. Oh my word. And also, considering its size, it is extremely well detailed. I mean, this just puts the Hornby Railroad 040 pocket rockets to shame. It is fantastic. I mean, obviously that's designed for beginners, but still, wow. Let's start at the front. You can see you get all this riveting You get around the saddle tank, on the buffer beam, on the pit cylinders as well. You don't get sprung buffers, but that's okay. I don't know if they're meant to be sprung though, to be honest, but maybe they, no, I think they are meant to be sprung. But I think because the buffer beam is, if you just focus, come on. I don't know why the camera is finding it so hard to focus these days. There we go. I think because the buffer beam is raised, I think maybe that's why they couldn't put sprung buffers. I don't know, but no, it's all right. I can live without sprung buffers. You get separately fitted handrails on both sides of the saddle tank, over the top of the smoke box, and also on the side of the side of the saddle tank, just here in front of the chimney. All this detail, safety valves, and then this little tap, or I don't know what that is, just behind the chimney. All of that is separately fitted. The lamp iron, separately fitted. All of this detail here, all separately fitted. And you do have to be careful because it is very delicate. So, yeah. The whistle on top of the cab roof, that is separately fitted. The glazing in the cab windows looks really, really good. I'm not too sure if that's, I don't know if that's a, well, I mean, okay, I mean that is one big piece of sort of a plastic sheet running across the back of the cab, but you know, from this angle it looks really, really good. And there's nameplate, the claws, which is printed on, but it looks really good. There's the Peckett Works label with the number 882, which is obviously the engine's number. The coupling connecting rods and the wheels look brilliant. I mean, it's just modelled so nicely. What else? Can't seem to see any. Doesn't seem to be any brake rigging. You can see the pickups, but the pickups are pretty well hidden, as they should be. You do get NEM couplings on both the front and the, well, yeah, that's the front and rear of the engine. Here's the back. You get a separately fitted lamp iron. You also get these handrails on the cab side, and that this here, the handbrake for the engine is located just there. So this is basically just to allow it to turn. But the cab, I didn't even show the cab. The cab itself is really nicely detailed. I mean, look, you can clearly see the regulator, and you can see some of the gauges and the dials. I mean, there's not an awful lot in the cab because it's a pretty basic engine in real life. But, you know, whatever needs to be modelled is there, and it is just fantastic. It's all separately fitted as well. And let's gently turn to the other side. The other side is pretty similar. You get all the pipe work on the just between the running board and the saddle tank. And there's the works number and the works plate and the number 882, and also Peckett & Sons Bristol. This one, I think. I don't know. Let's just zoom it. Let's just see if that's how legible. Oh, let's just see if that is legible enough. It doesn't seem to want to focus. Come on. But I mean, it definitely says the number. Yeah. Oh well, never mind. But obviously it does have the build date as well. But yeah, no, all in all, for such a tiny engine, the level of detail is outstanding. Yeah, we do criticise Hornby a lot these days, but here, obviously rightfully so for some of their models, but on this model they really went to town. And yeah, fantastic. Anyway, looks are one thing. Let's see how she performs. So here we have the Hornby W4 Peckett on the track, and this has been DCC fitted. It does take a Hornby 4-pin decoder, which I think is, yeah, it's still available in certain retailers. But the DCC fitting process was quite easy, much easier than the Dapol B4 I looked at last year. But anyway, let's select her number, and off she goes. Okay, doesn't seem to want to go for... There we go. And there she goes. Now I've put it to halfway, which is running in speed. So I'm just, and as you can see, she's running really well. Negotiates the point work. And let's get a few shots of her passing. So yeah, as you can see, she's running really well. Very smooth, and considering the short wheelbase, she's picking up power really nicely. So just to conclude this video, I highly recommend a Hornby Peckett. You can get this one, the W4, or you can get the 060 version, which is the B2 Peckett. But I definitely recommend it because it's a fantastic runner, especially if you're modelling like an industrial scene or a factory, anything like that. Highly recommended model. So beautifully well detailed considering the size, and the ECC video as well. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.